Welcome back to Comerica Park. Last night we started the ball game with a 100-degree temperature. Tonight a little bit cooler at 83 degrees. And the Tigers taking on the Angels here in Game 3 in the series. Doug Pfister on the hill for the Tigers, presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
Doug Pfister will need to pitch the same way that he pitched 5 days ago against the Baltimore Orioles. And what I mean by that is he has to get most of his stuff down in the strike zone. This Angels team, 18 hits yesterday and scored a bunch of runs, but Pfister has the kind of stuff he can slow them down.
And hopefully that'll be the case tonight as Mike Trout stands in to lead things off for the Angels. Trout, Hunter, and Pujols here in the first inning for Los Angeles. The 0-1 from Pfister is grounded toward third. Foul ball just outside of the bag. And it's quickly 0-2 on the talented leadoff man for the Angels. Pfister trying to duplicate what he did in Baltimore, and he was awfully good, but it's going to be a stiff challenge here tonight against an Angels team that put up 13 runs in last night's ball game. Trout has had a big series, 5 for 10. He has scored 4 times. And the 0-2, a check swing. Did he go? Did not, says Country Joe. 1-2. Trout batting .355 to lead the American League. He's scored 4 times already in this series. And now time given to the rookie leadoff man. Here's the 1-2. And he just missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty good.
Looks like he's got that same good action on his fastball he had 5 days ago.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Trout. 1 gone. Good start for Pfister. Here's the lineup for the Angels, presented by Metro Detroit and the Chevy dealers. And it looks like this. You saw Trout, Hunter, and Pujols to follow. Trumbo is cleaning up again tonight with Morales the DH. Alberto Callaspo, Kendrick, Ibar, and Hester, your bottom 3 tonight for the Halos.
Looks like Doug Pfister last couple of starts getting on top of that baseball, which is really giving him good action on all of his pitches. Whether it be the breaking ball, whether it be the fastball or the changeup. Very important for Pfister to get over the top.
Torrey Hunter, the batter. He's had a good series as well. 5 for 9 in the series for Hunter.
There had been some starts this year for Pfister where he had got hit around quite a bit because the arm slot dropped and the pitches just kind of flattened out in the strike zone. He was giving up quite a few hits.
The 0-2 is in there for strike 3. Hunter is caught looking. Back-to-back strikeouts. Torrey didn't like that
call. Beaumont Health System will sponsor the Tigers' defensive alignment this evening. It's Rayburn getting the start in left. It's Jackson in center. Brennan Bosch is back out in right. It's Fielder, it's Worth, it's Peralta, Cabrera in the infield for Detroit. And Gerald Laird is getting the start against the left-handed C.J. Wilson here tonight.
And Pujols stands in and looks at ball 1 from Pfister.
Pfister had quite a few strikeouts in Baltimore where he caught the Baltimore Orioles hitters looking at strike 3.
There's a drive deep into left field, and the Halos, who hit 5 homers last night, have another one here tonight. Albert Pujols goes deep to left, and it's 1-0 Los Angeles. And there was little doubt about that when Albert has just hit his 17th.
One thing we know about the Angels, and especially their first 4 hitters, they are very, very aggressive. But most hitters will hit that particular pitch right there. They may not hit it out of the ballpark, but they're going to put it in play. That's a fastball that wasn't located very well by Doug Pfister.
Angels have been home run happy in this series. We mentioned they had 5 last night. There's a strike called on Trumbo, who has homered in each of the first 2 games in the series.
And really nothing cheap about those big flies they hit in last night's game. Nor was there anything cheap about that one Pujols just hit.
7th home run in the series now for the Angels. Here's the 0-1 to Trumbo. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I thought this was a pitcher's park.
Well, the Angels, who are known for their speed, are making it look awfully small. That last one by Pujols traveled 418 feet. Here's the 1-1. A little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on the slugging Trumbo.
This is a different club for Mike Scioscia. Usually his clubs steal a lot of bases. They go first to third. They bunt. Lots of infield singles. But with the addition of Pujols and the emergence of the TNT boys, their offense is lethal all of a sudden.
Well, it's kind of reminiscent of the 2002 team they had that won the World Series. Everybody thought that they were really oriented around stealing bases, hitting and running, and all of that kind of stuff. But they had some power on that team. Salmon, Gloss, Anderson. The 2-2 is outside. 3-2.
Those were some real good Angels.
And they've got some new ones that are pretty good now. Full count on Mark Trumbo. Here is Fister's 3-2. And he shoots a ground ball to the right side. Nice play by Prince. Fister covers, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit. It went a long way. The home run by Pujols. Austin Jackson will be starting things off here in the bottom of the first. His run scoring streak came to an end last night at 13 straight. Tigers lineup presented by Big Boy. Jackson, Rayburn, Cabrera, your top 3. Fielder at first. Delman Young, the DH. Johnny Peralta playing short. Then you have Bosch, Laird, and Worth playing second base tonight for the Tigers. The starting pitcher for the Angels is C.J. Wilson. He is presented by Fox Volkswagen of Rochester Hills.
Over the course of the last 3 years, C.J. Wilson has won 40 games as a starter, and that's after relieving for the Texas Rangers in 2009. He's got a real good fastball to get up to 95, real good breaking ball, nice changeup, and what a competitor he is out on the mound. This is the defensive alignment behind C.J. Wilson. Torrey Hunter celebrating his 37th birthday today. He's got some kids in the outfield with him. That would be the TNT boys. Cayaspo, Ibar, Kendrick, Pujols in the infield, and John Hester, who caught the first game of this series, is catching today as well.
So Wilson set to go to work, and the first pitch to Austin Jackson is outside. Jackson, Rayburn, Cabrera, the Tigers' top 3 tonight. A.J. batting .319, just 1 for 7 of the series. They have slowed him down a little bit. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Tigers shut out yesterday for the first time in a calendar year.
It's amazing.
Last time they had been shut out was July 17th of 2011.
And it was a rookie that did it. Garrett Richards last night. Here's the 2-0. Jackson looks at a strike, 2-1.
Throwing shutouts really nothing new for this Angels staff, though. They have 14 of those this year.
Now the 2-1 pitch. On the outer edge, 2 balls, 2 strikes. C.J. Wilson, one of the big offseason acquisitions by the Angels, overshadowed a bit by the Pujols signing. There's a wave and a miss. First strikeout for C.J. Wilson, and we remind you, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. And you know the drill by now. You'll get a free small order of curly fries. There's Ryan Rayburn, batting in the 2 slot tonight for Jim Leyland. 169 average this year. And Rayburn has had just a couple of at-bats in the series, 0 for 2. And it's in for strike 1. Rayburn against Wilson has had a limited amount of at-bats, 3, but he's had a couple of hits against him. And he bounces one back up the middle. Howie Kendrick ranging right. Rayburn is out, 2 gone.
And last time the Tigers saw C.J. Wilson, it was right here in this ballpark. It was in the postseason last year, and they treated him badly. They hit 3 home runs against him that day. Delman hit a couple of big flies, and Avila also homered in that game.
Well, for as good as he has been in the regular season, in his career in the postseason, he's 1-5.
Some thought that may cost him last year in the offseason when he hit the free agent market, but the Angels, they gave him a 5-year contract. They weren't looking at those postseason numbers.
Here is Miguel Cabrera with the bases empty. And Wilson starts him off with a fastball in, 1-0.
CJ was 0-3 last year in the postseason with an ERA of 5.79.
That's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Wilson is a native of Southern California, born in Newport Beach, and so he's basically going back home.
That's a real nice spot.
Here are those postseason numbers we spoke of. A 4.82 ERA in 9 postseason appearances. There's a strike call, 2-1 on Cabrera. Miguel in the series, 1 for 6. He's had a really good month of July, 400 this month. And Wilson missed inside, run it to 3-1.
If you're C.J. Wilson, really no need in messing with Cabrera all night long. Not with Fielder in the on-deck circle. It's not that Fielder's a day at the beach, but if you're going to pick your poison, Miguel's the guy that you probably want to stay away from.
In there for a strike, 3-2. Cabrera is still leading the American League with 119 hits. In fact, he is 3rd in the major leagues. A couple of guys over in the NL have more. That would be Melky Cabrera and Andrew McCutchen. And he takes ball 4. Wilson wanted the strikeout there, didn't get it. 2-out base runner. We remind you this game tonight is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here's Prince. He scored a couple of times in the series, batting .303. And they give him the entire third base line, literally. Prince takes a ball outside, 1-0. Fielder has seen this shift just about against every team that he's played this year. You've got Kendrick, the second baseman, playing in the outfield grass. Here's the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. So Wilson got a couple of quick outs, then he walked Cabrera. Now he is dangerously fallen behind Prince Fielder, 2-0. And down the middle it comes for strike 1. Wilson featuring a 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the early goings here. 7 seasons with the Texas Rangers before signing that 5-year deal this past offseason. And that's in there as well, 2-2.
That's a good four-seam fastball there by Wilson, who's throwing awfully hard here in the first inning. Several of his fastballs have touched 94. And he's also has a legitimate swing and miss pitch as far as that slide piece is concerned. That's what he struck Austin Jackson out with.
Comes down from the side that time and slings it outside, 3-2. So we'll start Cabrera here at first base. Delman Young waiting in the on-deck circle. Let's see if Prince can find a gap here and score the tying run. Here's the 3-2. And the ground into center field. A base hit. Cabrera's on his way to third base. He is in there standing up. Fielder is able to beat the shift, and the Tigers are in business now with 2 outs.
You know that you're hitting the ball awfully hard when they have 3 men on the right side of the infield, and you hit one right on the screws, and you're able to hit it right between them with none of them touching the baseball.
So that's going to set up Delman Young, who right now is enjoying a 9-game hitting streak. And he's knocked in a couple of runs in the series. Tigers here in the month of July have done a good portion of their scoring with 2 outs. We'll see if they can do it again here. Ball high from Wilson, who seemingly had a breeze of an inning going when he retired the first 2 batters.
Well, he chose to pitch around Cabrera. But there's a lot of people that pitch around Cabrera.
Here's the 1-0. Slice to center field. That's going to drop. Base hit. Delman Young does it again. It's a 2-out RBI single to tie it up.
That's what happens when you walk number 24, because you didn't want him to do any damage against you. You felt like you could get Fielder out. But Fielder also singled sharply, and Delman Young comes up huge once again. And he continues to hit C.J. Wilson awfully hard. The last time he saw C.J. Wilson, he took him deep twice in the postseason.
Delman now has hit safely in 10 consecutive games, which is just 3 shy of his career high of 13. And he's knocked in his 40th run as well. And now here is Johnny Peralta. 1-1 ball game. Ball 1 inside. Peralta has not fared well against Wilson in his career. 1 for 14. There's 2 ways of looking at that. You can say, well, he's been dominated, or you can say he's due. Johnny's been hitting the ball well lately, though. .317 over his last 15 games. And Wilson missed again. 2-0. It's Young at first base and Fielder down at second. Here's the 2-0. It's fouled back out of play. Good rip there by Peralta. 2-1. Here's the Farmers Insurance report card tonight. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, and through the first, well, couple of months through June 23rd, the Tigers hadn't done a whole lot, but since they're up over 300.
Now, those numbers are reminiscent of what the Tigers were able to do so well last year when so many of their guys had good offensive seasons. They were able to extend a lot of innings with 2-out knocks.
Fouled away again, 2-2.
And it was just a matter of time this year before some of the guys perked up and started to do a little bit better job in those situations.
Well, all of a sudden now it's turned into a 25-pitch first inning for the left-hander Wilson. Bosch waiting on deck. Johnny has hit safely in 7 straight. Trying to give the Tigers the early lead here in the first inning in a 1-1 ball game. And now the catcher Hester will head out to the mound as they talk about the 2-2 pitch. Well, that's not a good start in terms of ratio for Wilson. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Wilson is able to limit the damage. His second strikeout of the inning. Tigers tied up on the Delvin Young RBI hit. The ballpark. Kendrys Morales will lead things off for the Angels. It'll be Morales, Callaspo, and Howie Kendrick facing the right-handed offerings of Doug Fister. He gave up the 2-out solo shot to Pujols, but his teammates have gotten him that run back. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Talk about how the Angels have hit a lot of home runs in this series. Morales hit one last night as well. He's 2 out of 7 in the series.
He hit that home run right-handed, and he also hit it to right field. Not many home runs that right-handers hit in this ballpark go out in that direction, but yesterday they had a couple of guys do it. Morales did it, and that ball that Trout hit is one of the furthest balls you'll see up in that area to right center field. For a right-handed batter, that is. Left-hander, too, for that matter.
3-1 on Morales. The home run last night snapped a 17-game homer drought for Kendrys. And that's in for a strike. Fill the count now. 3-2 on Kendrys Morales. .284 batting average. He's hit 9 home runs. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss out in front. Pfister pulled the string and Morales is out. The 3rd strikeout already now for Doug.
It's a real good changeup here by Pfister. You can see it coming right off the fingertips. And just enough to get Morales off balance and out in front. That's what the changeup is designed to do. Disrupt the hitting of the timing of the hitter.
In there for strike 1 on Alberto Callaspo. He homered as well in the ballgame last night. He rolls this one foul outside of the bag at first. 0-2 on Callaspo, the former Kansas City Royal, Arizona Diamondback. He's got a little bit of power. In fact, Callaspo with 7 long balls this year. A few years back in 09, he hit 11. The most he has hit in one season.
Callaspo, one of 4 switch hitters that Mike Scioscia has on his current roster. That makes it very difficult for opposing managers to match up against all these switch hitters late in games.
Fister, meanwhile, has picked up his 2nd strikeout in this inning, 4th in the game.
It's a fastball that Callaspo gave up on. He thought that ball was going to be inside, but it got quite a bit of plate. Good call by Rob Drake. He's the home plate umpire here tonight.
Here is Howie Kendrick. And he looks at a strike as again Doug continues to pound the strike zone. 0-1. Kendrick is 3 out of 9 in the series. Fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. $18 strikes, 9 balls for Fister so far in his 27 pitches. And the 0-2. Bouncing ball towards short. Johnny Peralta gobbles it up. And Fister has himself a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Still 1-1. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Chrysler, now take advantage of the great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. And by Spartan Stores for locations. Visit turntospartan.com. Back here at the ballpark, serving up some good food here in downtown Detroit. And another good-looking crowd here in the ballpark this evening. Another big crowd as well. Temperature a little bit cooler here this evening than it was last night. 1-1 is our score as Bosch leads it off. Laird and then Worth to follow, facing C.J. Wilson. C.J. threw 26 pitches in that first inning. And Bosch looks at the ball inside. Bosch starting to light it up a little bit now, and that's a good sign. He's hitting .371 in the month of July.
Got himself in a real nice count to look for a fastball and catch it out in front, which he's been doing a lot of lately. And if CJ decides you to throw a breaking ball, you simply have to have enough patience to lay off of it.
Drilled to center field and hit hard. Trout is on the run, still going back, not going to get it. Up against the wall and stuck in the wall. They're going to call it a ground rule double.
He did get that 2-0 fastball, and he did catch it out in front. And if Mike Trout in center field can't run it down, no one can run it down these days. He's one of the fastest center fielders in the game. That ball was absolutely scorched off the bat of Brennan Bosch.
And it stuck right in the gate.
That is a real good sign. And to see him do that kind of damage in that count where you're supposed to do that kind of damage.
So the leadoff double gives the Tigers a chance here to go ahead. Gerald Laird will step in now as they pinch a little bit in the corners. Laird showing no sign of bunt, looks at a ball inside. It's been a good year offensively for Gerald, batting .297. As Alex Avila's back up.
These guys were former teammates, C.J. Wilson and Gerald Laird, when they both were in Texas. And so Laird has caught C.J. quite a bit.
2-0.
The Texas Rangers, more so than any club in recent memory, have been able to take really good relievers and then put them in the starting rotation. And then those guys they've taken out of the bullpen do really well. Alexi Ogando comes to mind. And also Neptali Feliz made a nice transition from closer to starter until he got hurt this year.
No, that's a good point, because when you look at what Wilson was able to do, he was making a ton of appearances out of their bullpen. But as soon as they threw him in the rotation, he won 31 games over 2 years.
And he pitched 200 innings in both of those seasons before coming to Los Angeles. He went from pitching 70 innings out of the bullpen to 200 the next year.
Here's the 3-0. And he walked him. So G Money gets a base on balls.
Tigers need to take advantage of the fact that Wilson has not hit his stride yet in this game. He was an all-star this year and an all-star last year, so he's a really good pitcher. And you have to get to good pitchers early before they settle in. They can't let him off the hook.
Mike Butcher, their pitching coach, looks on. A little bit of concern when you look at Wilson, who's already gone 2-0 on 6 of the 8 hitters so far.
And Danny Worth is a candidate to sacrifice here to get Bosch to third and Laird down to second.
Ball 1. Wilson has thrown more balls than strikes so far at this start. And we'll see if the Tigers can make him pay. He has walked 2 batters. The first one came around to score. That was Cabrera in the first inning. Here's the 1-0. And again, he pulls the bat back. 2 balls and no strikes.
C.J. Wilson having command issues. He's only 1 of 9 in first pitch strikes to the first 9 Tigers hitters.
Well, Wilson and Weaver certainly have been the class of their rotation. When you look at the numbers of those two compared to the rest since June 25th, they have really struggled when Wilson and Weaver are not pitching.
They also have another really good pitcher in Dan Herron, whose name we'll see over there with Wilson and Weaver before the season's all said and done, once he gets healthy again.
Now the 2-0. That's sliced to right field and dropped by Torrey Hunter. Bosch coming to third. They stop him there. Torrey almost picked that one off the turf.
That is a great call by Jim Leland to take the bunt off. He knew C.J. Wilson was struggling with his command. He also knew Worth was going to get a 2-0 fastball right down the middle. And Worth didn't try to do too much with it. Kind of hit the ball where it was pitched. And Torrey Hunter almost made another really good play in this game, but a really good call by Jim, turning Danny Worth loose there. Torrey makes all the plays. I mean, he goes in the gap, he comes over, dives, he comes in and makes plays. He's really acquitted himself nicely to that new position, right field.
37 years of age today, Torrey Hunter. So they're loaded up, and the Tigers have the top of the lineup coming up, Austin Jackson. And he rolls it foul, 0-1. Jackson, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. .333 career with the bases loaded. This season, he's 4 for 8. Tigers already have 4 hits against Wilson. That's in for a strike, and now quickly 0-2.
Austin was looking for that breaking ball because Wilson struck him out with a breaking ball his first time up, and then the first pitch of this sequence, also a breaking ball. So Jackson got caught watching that hittable fastball go right by him with the bases loaded, nobody out.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Jackson leaving the strike zone the second time he fans tonight. That's a big one for Wilson.
First couple of pitches down and into Jackson, then he comes back with a breaking ball that doesn't do a whole lot, stays up. But Jackson couldn't catch up to it. That thing was just spinning.
So here's Rayburn now with one out. Ryan bounced out his first time up. And he sends a ground ball back up the middle, and a nice play there at short. Safe at second base. Albar made a terrific play, but they call him safe, and a run will score.
Great hustle by Danny Worth. We've already seen Ibar make a lot of really nice plays in this series, and he's able to get to that one, then shuffled to Kendrick. Kendrick was on the bag, but Danny Worth got a really good break from first and was coming up as the ball hit Howie Kendrick, their second baseman's glove.
So now the plot thickens for C.J. Wilson. The bases are still loaded. Only one out for Miguel Cabrera.
He's got no place to put Miguel this time. He pitched around Miguel back in the first inning, and it cost him a run.
Grounded foul right behind Gene Lamont. Wilson came into this game having allowed 2 earned runs or less in 11 of his 12 road starts, and well, he's already given up 2 runs in this game. We got a long way to go. Cabrera shoots a ground ball to second. Kendrick has it, bobbles it. His only play now is at first. Would have been a tough double play to turn, but that all went by the wayside once he bobbled it. Scored Laird to make it 3-1.
It's nice reaction time here by Howie Kendrick, who initially thought about getting the out at second, which he would have gotten had he been able to get the ball out of his glove cleanly. But once he didn't get a good handle on it, he wisely turned and got the out at first base instead of forcing the issue.
So the Tigers get 2 here in the second. They lead 3-1. And here's Prince Fielder. Look out, down he goes. Prince hits the deck.
No intent there. That was a breaking ball that got away from C.J. Wilson.
And the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Fielder. Had a single to set up a run back in the first. Prince now batting .305. And time call now by Fielder. So Wilson will step off. Prince with 65 RBIs, good for 3rd in the American League. He's got a chance to pick up a couple more here. He's got Worth at third base. And now time called is finally Hester walks out to the mound.
The Angels are still playing the shift with Fielder up, with the shortstop Ibar on the second base side of the bag. But Cayaspo, the third baseman, the last time Prince was up, he was over to the left about 5 steps in that shortstop position. But the Angels know that Prince will hit that ball right where Kayas was standing in this particular situation. He'll go the opposite way, so they haven't moved him over as much.
Way outside, 2-1. Tigers have scored 2 runs here to break the 1-1 tie. They have 5 hits already and a much better start offensively for the ball club tonight. Backing Doug Fister. Here's the 2-1. Prince fouls it back out of play. 2-2 on Fielder.
We have some guys that are in the ballpark here tonight that have been some of the best at their craft at driving in runs. That would be Prince, that would be Miggy, and also Albert Pujols, who since the beginning of 2009 have each driven in 409 runs. How about that?
That's kind of amazing.
We can't make this stuff up, people.
2-2. Drill to center field, a base hit. Worth will score. Here comes Rayburn. Trout's throw is cut off. 2 more RBIs for the Prince.
Make that 411 now RBIs by Prince Fielder since the beginning of the 2009 season. He is one guy, and he has done it all season long. When there's runners in scoring position and he really needs to concentrate, he just picks that shortstop position and tries to hit the ball right in that direction, and he gets rewarded quite often with some RBIs because of that.
67 RBIs now for Prince Fielder. Wilson continuing to struggle. He has thrown 47 pitches in this game. And the Tigers now lead 5-1.
There's another one of those 2-out knocks that you were talking about back in the first inning. They've done really good work lately with 2 outs, men in scoring position.
So demoralizing to the other team as well. Turned into a big inning for the Tigers, and now here is the 8th man to bat in the frame, Delman Young. He singled in a run back in the first. That tied the game at that point. 4 runs second for Detroit. And he lines one to left. It's a foul ball. 0-1 on Delman Young. Wilson's only road start this year in which he's given up 3 or more runs was against Texas back in May. He's not used to getting hit hard on the road. The Tigers have him for 5 runs on 6 hits already in this game. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Delman had a big rip.
Nice breaking ball there by Wilson. After realizing on that very first pitch he's not going to throw the fastball by Delman in a count, where Delman's looking for that fastball. That breaking ball was a dandy.
And the 0-2. Blocked by Hester, the catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball, center field. Trout cruising back. He'll get under it, and that will finally end the inning. Tigers send 8 men to the plate. They score 4 times. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. 6 hits already as we go to the top of the third. Doug Fister will climb back on top of the hill, and he will face Eric Ibar to start things off. Ibar, then Hester, and then Trout. 5-6-0 for Detroit. 1 run on 1 hit, the Pujols home run for the Angels. Ibar showing bunt, and he looks at a ball high.
He will do a lot of that. He will bunt for a lot of hits, and he also gets lots of infield singles.
Now the 1-0. Lifted in the air to right. Bosch backing up. Has room. 1 gone. Let's go to the studio now for a game break. Here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Here the Tigers fell behind 1-0, but they have scored 5 unanswered runs as John Hester digs in. And he looks at strike 1. Hester caught the opening game in the series. Wilson last night. Now Hester back behind the dish again this evening.
Fister looks every bit as good here today against this real good Angels team as he did 5 days ago against Baltimore. Baltimore obviously doesn't have the same kind of offensive weapons. But the action on the fastball is good. He's got some good movement with the changeup and the curveball.
Here's the 1-1. The bender is in for a strike.
But more importantly with Fister, I think everything is arm slotted. It looks like he's finally able to get up over the top, which is allowing him to use that 6-foot 8-inch frame as a nice weapon throwing downhill.
And I also have to think that the pace with which he works has to be a bit of an advantage as well. Hitters every now and then will try and step out to slow him down. The 2-2 is on the ground to third. Ooh, nice play by Cabby. Guns him down for out number 2.
That's why when you play in the infield, you have to always be on the balls of your feet, and you have to be ready to make plays, not only with your feet, but also the glove. And because he's on the balls of his feet, nifty glove work pulling it up and making somewhat of a difficult hop look like a really easy play. He looks like he's having some fun over there at third base.
Well, when we talked to him in spring training about the move, you could tell in his eye he was going to give it his all, and it was going to be a challenge for him, and he has met the challenge. There's a strike called on Mike Trout, who fanned back in the first inning.
Trout can really hit a fastball. He has already demonstrated that in the first couple of months he's been in the big leagues. But the Tigers have thrown him a few breaking balls that he's been out in front of, and that's kind of the way you got to get him out.
That's in the air. Right field. Bosch cruising over. Trout is out. And 1, 2, 3 go the Angels here in the third. Tigers still up 5-1. Downtown Detroit, but it's Christmas in July here at the ballpark, featuring, of course, Santa Paws and Santa Claus. And there were ticket packages available, including a hot dog and other goodies. And $5 worth of all those ticket packages went to the Salvation Army. And, Rod, you and I have apparently maybe some goodies in those stockings.
Let's hope so. It's never too hot for a couple of gifts.
Or a lump of coal, one of the two. We'll have to wait and see. The Christmas hats were handed out as well. Well, the Tigers have the lead, and Johnny Peralta is leading it off here with a fly ball to center field. Trout settling under it, and one pitch, one gone here in the bottom of the third. And Wilson is desperate for a quick inning. He really had to work through the second. Bosch got it started back in the second with a double. He also scored a run. Inside, 1 ball to no strikes on Brennan.
First time this year, C.J. Wilson has given up 5 earned runs in a game. That's how well he has pitched in his first year in an Angels uniform.
Breaking ball is in for a strike.
Why do you think he didn't draw much interest in the offseason with the numbers that he was able to compile? The 31 wins the last 2 years as a starter in Texas. He didn't get a lot of interest.
He didn't. He's a left-hander that logged a lot of innings, picked up a lot of strikeouts, and won a lot of games, and you would have figured that he would have drawn more interest. But maybe the point you brought up a little earlier, the fact that he really struggled in postseason, I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it.
I mean, you factor in the fact that he played in Texas, where that's just a lovely ballpark to hit in, to post the kind of numbers that he posted in that yard.
Yeah, pretty good. Swing and a miss, and now Bosch is out, 2 gone.
Well, it's a good thing Tigers scored 5 in the first 2, because it looks like Wilson has hit his stride. This breaking ball has been a real good pitch all night long, but he has not been able to command the fastball. Therefore, he's had to throw the Tigers some fastballs in fastball counts, and that's where they've done their damage so far today against CJ.
His 4th strikeout of the evening. Here is Gerald Laird. That's in for strike 1. Tigers have 5 runs, 6 hits. Angels 1 run, 1 hit. Wilson's 0-1 is sailing inside. Breaking ball that missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gerald batting .297. Alex Sevilla gets the night off tonight. And a ground ball to short. Routine play for Ibar. Cole Glover throws him out. And a 1-2-3 inning for Wilson. Christmas in July here at the ballpark tonight. And so far it's been good news. 5-1 Detroit.
been on point here tonight against a real good Angels team. Take a look at the grip. That's a curveball grip. He's thrown a couple of really good ones today. Also the changeup. Look at it come off the fingertips ever so nicely, and it gets that nice fading action. And then we got the four-seam fastball. It's about 90, 91 miles an hour, but he's spotting it. He's already has a couple of strikeouts in this game with the Angels looking, so Pfister is really on top of his game so far.
Well, he gave up the home run to Pujols back in the first, but since has retired 7 straight. And the Tigers have backed him with 5 runs tonight. 5-1 ball game as we go to the fourth. Torrey Hunter leading it off. And he looks at a ball outside. 1-1 on Hunter.
Torrey Hunter said he lost 18 pounds in the offseason. And one of the reasons why he's playing some good baseball at age 37.
They say, and I guess most athletes will tell you, and Rod, you probably went through this, as you got older as a player, it got tougher and tougher to stay in shape, and I guess you had to work harder and harder.
You have to start earlier. There was a time where you could wait until after your Christmas meal, and then you could start to get yourself in shape.
Swing and a miss. Well, Hunter's saying that he made contact, but that's not going to be the case.
That's the slowest breaking ball of the afternoon, or the evening, I should say, by Doug Pfister. Most of his other curveballs have been thrown a lot harder. And we've seen several Angels off balance here today. Yeah, but nowadays, guys are getting in shape before Thanksgiving, anticipating that next year. And for Hunter, you have to do so when you got young kids like Trout and Trumbo and Borges trying to take your position.
But if you're getting in shape shortly after Thanksgiving, that is not much of an offseason, is it?
Nope. Guys don't take much of an offseason this time around. They go on vacation usually when the season's over for a couple of weeks, and they're right back at it. It's changed.
Pujols the batter here with 1 out. And Albert checks his swing. 2 balls and 1 strike. He homered back in the first. Albert now with 17 long balls on the season. Here's the 2-1. And the Angels as a team have hit 25 home runs in the month of July, the most in the major leagues. 25 already this month.
This fastball right here, just low.
3-1 is ball 4. Albert will take a 1-out walk.
The velocity is not quite there with Pfister as it was last year. He was throwing 93 last year when the Tigers got him from Seattle, but he really hasn't been healthy all year. And therefore, he hasn't been much above 90, but he is starting to get healthy, and he's starting to get much better movement on everything that he throws, and that's why the results have been good lately for Doug.
Here's Trumbo, who bounced out his first time up. Looks at a breaking ball outside.
Yeah, this big, strong fella right here. 6 home runs in his last 10 games.
Including home runs in his last 3 consecutive games. Trumbo, when he was in high school, played a little first base, but he pitched as well, had a really good arm, and many thought he would be drafted as a pitcher, but the Angels looked at his bat and his power potential and drafted him actually as a corner infielder. First baseman, third baseman. He was going to go play at USC, but the Angels convinced him to turn professional. That'll get away from Laird. Here's the throw to second. The tag got him.
And he hurt himself too.
Pujols tried to go in there standing up, and he's walking gingerly back to the bench.
That's why they always tell you to slide. You don't try to make adjustments when you're going down to the bag. And because he tried to make that adjustment, it looked like he may have jarred that left knee or something. Something was awkward about that. It's a nice hustle there by Gerald Laird.
Mike Scioscia's holding his breath right now.
And so is all of Los Angeles.
So the bases are empty. Pujols upset with himself. Swing and a miss as Trumbo takes a big rip. 2-2 the count. And he missed outside. 3-2. Fisker's longest inning to this point was the first, in which he threw 16 pitches. He had a couple of strikeouts in that frame.
Everything he has thrown Trumbull in this pitch sequence has been outside.
And he lost him there. Second walk of the inning. Time now for tonight's Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question. Pretty easy tonight. Which do you think is harder to do? A, hit 50 home runs in the big leagues, or B, win 20 ball games in the big leagues? Text your vote. Texting ACE followed by a space, the letter answer to 37338. Final results postgame from Tigers Live.
Both are very, very difficult to do these days. Not many guys hitting 50 home runs, and of course you have to be awfully special to win 20 games in the major leagues.
Kendrys Morales, the batter. Bender drops in. Well, to give you a little bit of something as a backdrop, the Tigers have had 250 homer seasons in their history.
History?
Hank Greenberg and Cecil Fielder. That's it. Meanwhile, they've had 37 20-game winners.
He's one of them. Justin Verlander.
Swing and a miss. And down goes Morales. Down go the Angels. Nothing comes of the 2 walks. Fisker has struck out 6 in this game.
He's got that real tight changeup here tonight.
Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Barbecue lovers rejoice. The barbecue sandwich is back. Get yours today. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, it's a beautiful night here at the ballpark tonight. Downtown Detroit, Comerica Park, the site. Tigers on top of the Angels 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Tigers fell behind 1-0 on the Pujols home run, but they have come back to back the pitching of Doug Fister with 5 runs. Danny Worth will start things off for the Tigers. Worth and then Jackson and then Rayburn. C.J. Wilson got back on track with a 1-2-3 third. And it's a ball outside to Danny.
Danny Worth played a nice role in that first inning. Second inning, I should say, for the Tigers. There was runners on first and second. He was up there bunting until C.J. Wilson fell behind him. 2 balls, no strikes, and then Jim Leland gave him the green light. And he singled sharply into right field.
There was a time earlier this year where Jim Leland said he was going to give Danny Worth a little bit of an opportunity, run him out there a few days in a row to see if he could give the team a spark out at second base. He received a few games, but has never really been in the lineup on a consistent basis. And Leland, before the game tonight, said, I'm throwing Danny Worth out there. Maybe he can give us a little bit of a spark. And he did just that back in the second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Wilson fires one in the dirt. 2-2 on Worth, who was batting .295 down at Toledo. Austin Jackson lurking on deck. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3-2. C.J. Wilson was unrecruited out of high school. He actually walked onto his junior college team at Santa Ana Junior College and then transferred to Loyola Marymount.
It's a good school.
3-2 is ball 4.
Loyola Marymount has a beautiful campus, too. The Tigers conclude their series with the Los Angeles Angels tomorrow afternoon at 1:05. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. There is absolutely nothing better than a Thursday matinee here at Comerica Park.
So here is Jackson. Wilson, after a quick 1-2-3 third, walks the number 9 hitter here in the 4th, which probably has him muttering to himself. Worth has been on base twice. AJ, meanwhile, has fanned a couple of times. One and one. Jackson had scored in 13 straight games until last night when nobody was scoring for the Tigers. They were shut out for the first time in a year.
And Jackson giving Gene Lamont a real nice long look down at that third base coaching box in a 1-1 count. Might see a runner on the move.
Fouled away.
Jim Leland is one of those managers not afraid to put the hit and run on in a 1-1 count, where there are some managers that only put that particular play on when the count's 1-0, 2-0, 2-1.
Ground ball to short. Looking like a double play. Ibar, Kendrick on to first. 6-4-3. Tough night so far tonight for AJ.
Doesn't get much more tailor-made than this one.
Here's Ryan Rayburn, whose infield single allowed the Tigers to score a run in that 4-run second. In there for strike 1. C.J. Wilson coming into this game was 9-5 with a 2.43 ERA in 19 starts. And opponents had an average against him of just .202. There's a roller to third base, knocked down by Callaspo. Still has time, and he throws him out. That'll be it for the Tigers. No runs, a walk, nobody left. Here comes the 5th. 5-1. Vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game tonight. Presented by the Big Mac. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. So here come the Angels now as we go to the 5th. It'll be Alberto Callaspo to lead it off. Fister has struck out 6 in this contest. Callaspo and then Kendrick and Ibar. Two balls, no strikes. Little floater into center field. Jackson will back off, play it on one hop. A leadoff single for Callaspo. So the Angels have just their second hit of the night. The other, of course, the home run by Pujols. Here is Howie Kendrick. Kendrick tried to check it, couldn't do it. He went around, says Country Joe. This is an Angels offense that really scuffled early this year. In the month of April, as a team, they hit .236. Mickey Hatcher, their hitting coach, was fired. Of course, he had a long-time relationship with Mike Scioscia.
You know that had to be very, very difficult for Scioscia to do.
But since they have hit .283 as a team, here's the 0-1. Breaking ball rolled foul.
Mike Scioscia and Mickey Hatcher, their relationship goes all the way back than when they were both playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And they had been together since Scioscia took over in Anaheim.
Scioscia's a good manager. He breeds other managers, as a matter of fact. Ron Renicky, who was on his staff for a long, long time, is now the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. And you know all about Joe Madden, who worked underneath Scioscia as well, and doing marvelous work down in Tampa for the Tampa Bay Rays. So when you associate yourself with Scioscia, you put yourself on the map for other organizations to take a look at you. That's how well respected he is.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Howie Kendrick. Way outside, 2-2. Of course, a lot of that respect comes not only from his persona and his knowledge of the game and his playing career, but the fact that he's flat out won since taking over with the Angels. They've won 5 times the West in his days.
And I think opposing general managers like the style of game that they play. I mean, it's very much in your face kind of baseball for 9 innings. And so far the Tigers, for 2 of the 3 games they've played here against the Angels, they've been able to match that same kind of intensity and energy. Last night, we just throw that one out the window.
Here's the 2-2. After all, it doesn't matter what the score is. It counts as only 1 loss. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 5-1 Tigers lead. They scored 4 in the second inning to break the tie. Runner going on 3-2, swing and a miss. Laird's throwing plenty of time. They started the runner and it backfired. Strike him out, throw him out.
Great concentration here by Gerald Laird after the swing and miss by by Kendrick. The ball is down, but he was able to exchange it to make a really nice throw down Danny Worth.
Here's Ibar with 2 outs.
Is that 7 strikeouts now for him?
I was just about to say it's 7 punch outs. Fister had 8 in his last start, which was his season high. It equaled his season high. 8 strikeouts against the Orioles and earlier this year against Oakland. He's thrown 65 pitches. Here's the 1-0. Ibar looked like he was going to slap one of those bunts down the third base line like he did last night. Trying to chuckle out of Cabrera down at third. Cabrera threw him out when he tried to do it.
He did.
Two and one. And he tried to drop down a bunt but laid it down foul. 2-2.
He tried to be too quick with his bunt, and anytime that you're running out of the batter's box and trying to bunt at the same time, you usually do not lay down a good bunt. And the key to guys like Ibar, Quentin Berry, guys that like to bunt for base hits, you have to stay in the batter's box until you put the ball where you want to put it. Then you run, and usually the placement of the bunt allows you to get a hit. It helps to have speed, too.
Little chopper first base side. Fair ball right at the bag. Prince tags the bag for the out. And the inning is over. Tigers will have the big lumber coming up. Cabrera and Fielder. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. A look at the active players under the age of 30 that have hit the most career home runs, and to no one's surprise, a couple of Tigers are at the top of that list.
And Cabrera, Fielder, David Wright, Ryan Braun, and Mark Reynolds. We're going to round out the top five.
And the Tigers will have the top two guys on that list coming up here in the fifth inning. Cabrera, Fielder, then Young. Facing the left-handed offerings of C.J. Wilson. First pitch inside, 1-0 on Cabrera. Wilson needed 72 pitches to get through the first 4 innings. That's fouled back by Miguel.
And Cabby had a real good fastball to hit right there. Just missed it. Great balance, great swing.
Here's the 1-1. Driven down the left field line. Ball is hooking foul. 1-2.
Miggy stayed back as long as he could against that breaking ball. Caught it out in front, and that kind of hooked it foul.
Ball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cabrera. Miguel picked up an RBI and a ground ball back in the second. and now has 75 driven in. Two and two. Bouncer back up the middle into center. Base hit. Just as a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. So Cabrera reaches to start things off here in the fifth. That'll bring up Prince Fielder. Already 2 hits, 2 RBIs tonight. Prince up to 307, and he's knocked in 67. Wilson missing low and away. There's a breaking ball that drops in. So Fielder with his 2 RBIs now has 67 driven in, which puts him behind Cabrera, and they're both chasing Hamilton, who has 78. Hamilton once had a commanding lead in the RBI category, but a couple of the Tigers have just about caught up. Now the 1-1.
One of the reasons why CJ has been hit around a little bit in this game today, he has not been able to get ahead of these Tigers. He has forced himself into throwing lots of fastballs in fastball counts. Just 9 of 22 in first pitches thrown so far tonight.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Fielder is down on strikes.
Just to give you an idea, the batting average goes up for players about 100 points when the count is 1-0 versus the count being 0-1.
And that's why on a nightly basis we often give you first pitch strikes and how important they are to a pitcher.
100 points difference.
Here's Delvin Young. Single, fly ball, RBI. Wave and a miss. .82 now thrown by CJ. Breaking ball missing outside. We're talking about that coaching tree, or that managerial tree of Socias, including Bud Black, the manager of the Padres. CJ, of course, grew up in Southern California, and Black, in one off season, was given a call by CJ's mom. There was a relation in the family, and Black took a look at CJ as a high schooler and gave him some pointers early in his career. He'll get in the dirt, allowing Cabrera to move up, so he'll take 90 feet into scoring position. Anyways, the story goes, Bud Black took one look at CJ Wilson as a high schooler and said, this kid's got it. Had good arm strength, and here he is in the big leagues.
Good for him. And even though Bud Black took a look at him, and Bud Black was a real good pitcher himself, CJ Wilson still had to walk on to a junior college.
Right. Imagine that.
It doesn't matter how you get here. If you have the desire and you have some talent, the scouts will find you.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Meanwhile, real good base running instincts by Cabrera on that breaking ball that bounced. Hester couldn't get in front of it. Cabrera able to get himself down in scoring position.
Fly ball, right field. Torrey Hunter on the charge. And Delman is out, 2 gone. He's going to bring up Johnny Peralta. Also going to bring Mike Butcher out, the Angels pitching coach, to have a quick chat.
Well, it's Torrey Hunter's birthday. He's 37 years old today, so we may as well show him a little bit of love, and he's earned that love. This guy, perennial Gold Glove winner in center field, 9 Gold Gloves to be exact, but now playing right field, and he's made every single play. He's gone back on balls. He's gone into the gap. He's taken doubles away. He's also came across the diamond on a play last night. Cabrera was standing in the batter's box and made a sensational catch, and this was when they were winning, I believe, like 13-0.
Right. He stretched out. He just flat out loves to play the game.
Torrey Hunter has a future in broadcasting when it's all said and done, if he chooses to do so. Very charismatic. Always smiling. He's had a great career.
One ball to no strikes. Johnny Peralta. The other thing about Hunter is that, he's in such great shape. We've talked about that. But he spent the first 10 years of his career playing on that turf at the Metrodome.
Said he couldn't wait to get off of it.
It's really had to have an effect on his back and knees, you would think.
Now that he's lost 18 pounds, he's in some really good shape.
2-0, Johnny Peralta trying to pick up Cabrera at second. And he pulls it foul. Johnny 0 for 2, strikeout, fly out. Wilson, since giving up the 4th spot in the second, has kept the Tigers off the board, but they are threatening here in the 5th inning. Missed with it, 3-1.
If Peralta's going to drive this run in with 2 outs, he's going to have to hit a pitcher's pitch. You've got the base open. You've got the left-handed Brennan Bosch standing in the on-deck circle. I don't think C.J. Wilson's going to make a mistake here. At least he shouldn't make a mistake here to Peralta.
And a strike called. 3-2.
That's a good, firm 93-mile-per-hour fastball.
Missed inside, ball 4. It's another walk for Wilson. That'll be his 4th of the game. That's going to bring up Bosch.
Bosch, his first time up today, he doubled over the head of Mike Trout in left center field. It was a 2-0 count. And he jumped all over a C.J. Wilson heater. Wilson struck him out his last time up on a really good breaking ball.
Cabrera down at second, Bosch at first. And he checks his swing, ball 1.
We talked about Jim Leland putting Danny Worth into the lineup today, expected him to do something. He must have expected Bosch would do something too, because he elected to play him over Quentin Berry.
Bosch did not disappoint with the double back in the second to start that rally. Here's the 1-0. Slice to left field. Fair ball. It's going to go to the corner. Cabrera comes around to score. Peralta behind him. They're going to wave him home. Johnny will come in to score, and Bosch does it again. His second double of the night.
I see you, Brennan. C.J. Wilson did what he was supposed to do, and that was to pitch around Peralta with the base open, 2 outs to get to the left-hander, but he failed to get Bosch out. What a beautiful piece of hitting by Brennan to slice that ball down in the left field corner. That is a nice piece of hitting.
2 doubles, 2 RBIs. The Tigers now lead 7-1.
5 of the Tigers' 7 runs scored here today have been after 2 are out.
So that trend continues. Gerald Laird looks at ball 1. Walk and a run scored tonight for Gerald. Wilson gaining on 100 pitches. There's a ground ball foul. So tonight the Tigers hang a 7 spot on Wilson. That equals his career high in runs allowed. Tigers tonight 3 out of 4 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Doug Fister's thinking this is nice. 7 runs to work with tonight. Slap toward right field, foul. 1-2 on Laird. Seven runs, 8 hits for Detroit, a run on 2 hits for the Angels. One night after the Tigers lost big and being shut out. And they're doing it against a really good pitcher who's had some really good numbers this year.
Yeah, Tigers were mauled last night. Literally.
2-2 the count. Wilson's ERA will take a hit tonight. And we'll see if Laird can knock in another. Danny Worth waiting on deck. He would bat if Laird keeps it going. Ground ball to short. Ibar has it there. Laird is out. That'll end the inning. Tigers get another run to go up 7-1. Christmas in July here at the ballpark, and the Tigers having a jolly old time.
My first bike, my BMX bike that I had a long time ago when I was in about middle school, probably just out of elementary school, but it got stolen like 4 or 5 days later, yeah. On the streets, let somebody ride it and they took it. Yep, never got it back.
So there was a valuable life lesson to be learned in that for you.
Yep, don't let anybody ride your bike when you get it after Christmas.
Now, who would steal a Christmas bike?
That's beautiful. How about Keating? That is so mean. He just cracked up at Quentin.
Did you learn your lesson, Quentin? It is Christmas in July here at the ballpark tonight. Santa Claus having a good time, taking some photos. Tigers having a good time too, 7-1. As we go to the 6th inning. And for the Angels, the catcher John Hester leads it off, and then Mike Trout and Torrey Hunter. Here's a ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's Q. He's just chilling today.
Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I've had a bike stolen, though. There's nothing more demoralizing
Me
than
too.
that. You come outside, and where you thought your bike was, it's not there anymore.
You know, when my bike was stolen, I actually saw the guy steal it, but I didn't know it was mine. I said, hey, that kind of looks like my bike. And it was. Here's a foul ball down the left field line.
That is a bad feeling.
I got back in the garage. My bike was gone. Here's some dude riding it down the street. Quentin. Poor Quentin.
I can relate.
2-2, John Hester. Driven again down the left field line. Foul back in the seats. Well, Fister threw only 69 pitches through 5 innings. Meanwhile, Wilson threw 99. So there's your difference tonight. 30 more pitches thrown by the left-hander C.J. Wilson. And again, here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled it off.
Doug Fister has given Hester a steady diet of good two-seam fastball running in on his hands. 75 total pitches for Fister so far tonight.
And he got him, strike 3. Hester knew it. He'll walk back to the bench. 8 strikeouts for Fister. Time now for the AT&T trivia question. Mike Trout has 4 4-hit games. Which Tiger also had at least 4 in a season at the age of 20 or younger? 4 4-hit games for Trout, who is 20 years old. Which Tiger did it?
You know, that's a short list because most guys don't get to the show when they're teenagers. Only a select few. You've got to be awfully talented.
Trout has been held hitless tonight, though, 0 for 2.
This boy right here is bad, too, though. It's only taken a couple of days of watching Mr. Trout to realize what everybody else across the country has already seen. He's got a bright future.
There's a ball inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The home run that Trout hit last night was to the opposite field at 442 feet, which is impressive enough. The second longest opposite field home run hit in the majors this year. The longest belongs to our Miguel Cabrera.
It almost hit those numbers and those names on that back wall in right center field.
Just to give you an idea of how far that ball was hit.
You don't see right-handers hitting balls that far in that direction. You just don't see it.
Strike called, and Trout has an 0 for 3 going with a couple of punch-outs.
That is now 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts for Doug Fister, where the Los Angeles Angels didn't even pull the bat off their shoulders.
Little backup action on that pitch. 9 strikeouts, a season high for Fister. Make it look pretty easy tonight. He's given up just 2 hits. There you have it. He had a couple of 8 strikeout games. He has surpassed that. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to short. Routine there for Peralta. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. All Tigers tonight. Trev, here's the AT&T trivia question again. We gave it to you a couple of minutes ago. Mike Trout has 4 4-hit games. Which Tiger also had at least 4 in a season at 20 or younger? And that, of course, would be Mr. Tiger. Al Kaline had 5 4-hit games in 1955. Always good to see Al at the ballpark every night. Around the clubhouse as well. C.J. Wilson missed inside 1-0.
And you already know that in order for us to get Mr. Kaline in a statistic with the young man Trout has done some special things. As a matter of fact, everybody else pretty much black and white photos.
Kaline, Cepeda, and Washington. There's a strike called 1-1.
The baby bull, he could hit Cepeda. Oh, could he hit?
That he could. Here's the 1-1 pitch. On the outer edge, Danny didn't like the call. 1-2. The count now on Worth. Checked it inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Worth has had a good night. Single and a walk, plus a run scored. He was up there back in the second in a bunting situation. Got ahead of the count 2-0, and then singled to right field. Ooh, we tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Down he goes.
CJ has had a good breaking ball here today and a decent changeup on occasion, but he really hasn't been able to get to those pitches all that often here today. It's one of the reasons why he trails by 6.
6 punch outs for C.J. Wilson. Here's Austin Jackson trying to turn his night around. He has a couple of strikeouts and a double play ball tonight. Still batting .315, 10 home runs. Shattered bat, look out. Third baseman Callaspo fields the ground ball and throws him out. A dangerous jagged end going all the way out to third base. Here's Ryan Rayburn. His infield hit drove in a run back in the second inning. 1 for 3. Ball outside. There's Takahashi again. He pitched in game 1, was warming up last night. Ball outside. Two 2-0 on Rayburn. 2 teams will close out the series tomorrow with day baseball here, and then those Chicago White Sox will come to town. Verlander and Peavy in game 1 in that series.
They switched it, huh?
They did. It was Sale. That'll still be a good matchup.
No doubt.
3-0 the count. And there's a strike. 3-1 on Ryan. Cabrera waiting on deck. And he takes it at the knees. 3-2.
A little bit of a mini protest there by Rayburn. Did not agree with the strike call there of the home plate umpire Rob Drake tonight.
Full count pitch. He walked him. That'll keep the inning going for Cabrera. Five walks now for C.J. Wilson. 3 of them have come around to score to this point. Miguel singled, scored a run back in the 5th. He knocked one in with a ground ball in the 2nd.
It's the 3rd time this year CJ has walked 5 in a game. He also has one start where he walked 6.
0-1 on Cabrera. Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers have 8 hits tonight, only 2 allowed by Pfister. And Doug has been dealing tonight. He has struck out 9 batters, a season high. And it's looking like it's getting back to that point where the Tigers are getting the top end of the rotation to settle in nicely, as Pfister now is getting stronger and stronger.
It also means the Tigers will not be so desperate as far as another starting rotation piece will be concerned before the trade deadline is over. If you get Pfister pitching the way he's capable of pitching, you don't have to overpay if you do want to go out and bring in another arm.
Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Of the 8 Tigers hits, 6 are singles. The other 2 are doubles, both by Bosch. And that Prince lurking on deck. And Wilson, meanwhile, has thrown 117 pitches in this game.
His high this year is 125.
Swing and a miss. 3-2. The first 2 innings very lengthy in the 5th inning as well. 3 really stressful innings tonight for Wilson. The runner will be going here on 3-2. That's Rayburn. And the full count pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. No runs, a walk. 1 man left. 6 in the books here at the ballpark. 7-1 Tigers. Against C.J. Wilson tonight, and the Tigers go to the 7th inning with a comfy lead right now. And Doug Pfister, meanwhile, has a season high 9 strikeouts in this game. He's been awfully good. And he'll go to work now in the 7th inning, facing Pujols, Trumbo, and Morales. Albert had a home run in the first inning. And that remains the only run the Angels have put up tonight against Pfister. In fact, their only other hit was a single by Callaspo in the 5th, and he was caught stealing. The 0-1. Make it 0-2 on Albert. 9-time All-Star in his days with the Cardinals. In fact, he won 3 Most Valuable Player awards in the National League.
And he really could have won more than that if it wasn't for what Barry Bonds was doing in San Francisco in Pujols' first few years in the majors. Bonds was winning the MVPs.
On the outside corner, strike 3. Pujols disagrees as he walks back, and that's an even 10 strikeouts for Doug.
Angels are giving up on this two-seam fastball that Pfister's been featuring tonight, and Rob Drake's giving it to him. I mean, this ball starts off the plate, kind of fades on that outside corner. Actually, that may have been a changeup. Sure was.
Six in a row now retired by the right-hander. The career high for Pfister is 13 strikeouts, so he's 3 shy of that.
Half of his strikeouts have been looking by the Angels batters. He had quite a few of those in Baltimore, too, 5 days ago.
Trumbo takes the ball, 2-0 the count. Is that telling you anything one way or another?
He's got good movement on his stuff. He'll throw that fastball inside. You'll see some of the right-handers jackknife out of the way. He's locating his pitches a lot better than he was earlier this year.
Now it's 3-0 on Trumbo. They've had to move Trumbo around quite a bit. He's played first base, he's played third, he's played left, he's played right. He has DH'd as well. He has now taken over the cleanup spot full time for the Halos.
He's got a home now, too, I believe, in left field.
He's taking on 3-0. It's in there, 3-1. Kendrys Morales was their cleanup hitter up until yesterday, and Mike Scioscia admitted that he's going to go with Trumbo now for a couple of reasons. A, the production that Trumbo has given them. He has been a game-changing hitter, and B, Morales seemed to be pressing in that 4 spot. That's in for a strike, 3-2.
And the way that Trumbo is swinging the bat, he provides a little bit more protection for Albert Pujols than Morales was. Even though Morales, against most right-handers, well, all right-handers, swings left-handed.
3-2 pitch. Fouled straight back.
And really, by Scioscia doing so, you also relax Morales a little bit. You get him out of the number 4 spot. You let Trumbo do what he does there. And you slot him 5th, and all of a sudden he's a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, that seemed to be part of the plan because Kendrys a couple of years ago had an MVP-type season, but still trying to come all the way back from that leg injury. The numbers have been okay this year based on his standards. There's a towering fly ball to right center. Jackson is under it.
The Tigers battle the Chicago White Sox this Sunday at 1:05. All kids 14 and under receive a Justin Verlander poster. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Kids, you want to get your parents on that one right now.
Absolutely. Here is Morales. He looks at a strike.
Tell him Rod and Mario said so. Let's go to the game, Dad.
Kendrys 0 for 2 in this game. Swing and a miss.
Pfister's dealing. Absolutely dealing tonight. And to think about the damage that this Angels team did last night.
And they have just 2 hits this evening. 2. I was talking to Avila before the game today about what he noticed in Pfister in his last start against the Orioles, and he said he just seems to be in better pitching shape right now. He's always been in good shape, but now that he's getting some innings, there's a big difference between being in shape and pitching shape. He's getting more movement on his fastball, more velocity as well. That's rolled foul.
Well, this kind of backs up what Avila told you today. 13 2/3, 18 strikeouts. He's only walked 2. Gave up 1 run to Baltimore, 1 run here so far to the Angels.
And the 1-2. Bouncing ball knocked down by Fister. Can't find it. Still has time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dunn. He's retired 8 straight now. Fister back on track. Trailed 1-0 early, but they got it going in the second inning when Bosch led it off with a double. Danny Wirth then singled, had the load of the bases. Ryan Rayburn's bounce out scored 1 run. Miguel Cabrera's bounce out scored another. And then the big blow. Prince Fielder laces a 2-run single, and all of a sudden the Tigers had a 5-1 lead.
Tigers have 8 knocks in this game, and Brendan Bosch has the only 2 doubles that they have hit in this game. He's been right in the middle of all the damage they have done. He drove in 2 more in the 5th inning. That was after Cabrera's single and a Peralta walk, and all that came against the starter, C.J. Wilson, who was an all-star this year for the American League.
Total it all up at 7-1 in favor of Detroit as we go to the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher in now for the Angels, and a wall side windows pitching change. Hisanori Takahashi.
He has a 4.31 ERA. He has 29 strikeouts in 31 1/3 innings against 7 walks. Giving up 5 homers this year. Takahashi.
Fielder, Young, and Peralta here in the 7th inning for Detroit, up by 6. And Takahashi misses outside 1-0. 37 years of age, out of Tokyo, Japan. He pitched 10 seasons in Japan for Yomiuri before coming over to the States in 2010 to pitch for the Mets. In for a strike.
And pitching for Yomiuri is like pitching for the New York Yankees here in the United States. All the Japanese players want to play for the Giants. They play in Tokyo. It's the biggest market, and they usually have the biggest stars.
There's that little hesitation that you see out of a lot of the Japanese pitchers. That thing is smoked and caught by Hunter on the warning track.
That hesitation didn't bother the Prince. And Torrey continues to make nice play after nice play in right field. Almost misread that ball. Came in a couple steps, then had to get on his horse to get back to make the over-the-shoulder grab.
Here is Delman Young. RBI singled his first time up. Slow breaking ball sails outside. Check swing low. 2-0 the count on Delman Young. When Takahashi came to the States and pitched for the Mets in 2010, New York used him out of the bullpen and the rotation. Had a fine season. Won 10 games, had an ERA in the mid threes. 2-1. Used exclusively out of the pen last year for the Halos. 61 appearances out of their bullpen. Popped up. See if it stays in play. Pujols may have room. He will. 2 gone. Now Johnny Peralta. For 2 for Johnny. Also has a walk that came in the 5th inning. Came around on the double by Bosch. Bosch with 2 doubles tonight. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup there by Takahashi. Peralta looking for the first pitch fastball. Got the string pulled on him and came up empty.
There have only been 2 other Japanese-born players that have played for the Angels over the years. Shigetoshi Hasegawa, who was a right-handed pitcher, and Hideki Matsui. Takahashi becoming the 3rd.
Godzilla.
Slow roller hit toward third base and scooped by Kayaspo. Quick 1-2-3 for Takahashi on Christmas in July here at Comerica Park. All Tigers tonight, 7-1.
My wife framed my first jersey from when I got called up with the Pirates with my first Major League hit, put it in a big shadow box, and gave it to me a couple years ago.
I got my Rams starter jacket, the old school blue and yellow, and I don't think I took it off for a while, but yeah, I'm a huge Ram fan, and that was probably the best gift. I wore that to school every day.
Don Kelly will take over in right field for the Tigers as we go to the 8th inning. Some of the Tigers' favorite Christmas gifts on Christmas in July here at the ballpark. Fister back to work, and he is facing the left-handed batting Alberto Kayaspo to lead things off. Gerald Laird, of course, with that Rams starter jacket. Let's take a look.
I had one of these bad boys, too.
Did you really?
Yeah, you were big in L.A. if you had one of these, if you're a Rams fan.
Did you also have a members-only jacket?
I had several of those.
That's in the air to shallow center field. A.J. under it.
But I didn't wear my starter jacket to school every day, though.
No.
Did you have a members-only jacket?
I've got to admit I did. As much as I hate to, I did. You got me.
I had all different colors.
Mine was, I think it was like a bronze color. It was hideous.
Come on, now, those are nice now.
Yeah, back then they were.
They're coming back.
When?
I mean, all that stuff comes back around.
Eventually it does, I suppose. Howie Kendrick, the batter. Kendrick hits a ground ball to short. Right there is Peralta. Man, oh man, is Fister working tonight.
Mr. Fister. Tonight.
And that is 10 straight retired by Mr. Fister. And this coming tonight against a really good Angels lineup.
Last 2 months, this Angels team has been one of the best offenses in the game. See Cabrera still crowding Ibar at third base, not going to give him anything.
Angels had 18 hits last night. They have 2 tonight. In fact, Ibar was the only Angel without a hit last night. One ball, one strike on Eric Ibar. He's an exciting player in his own right, especially defensively. Here is Fister's 1-1. Floats outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Further proof that Fister is getting into better pitching shape, pitching into the 8th inning here this evening. And a ground ball to second. And Ibar is out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Fister. He's retired 11 straight. Christmas in July here at the ballpark, and it was all Doug Fister tonight. 8 innings with a season-high 10 strikeouts in this contest. And I guess, Rod, the best way you can put it, absolutely dominant tonight.
Getting on top of the baseball. When Fister gets on top, he's got a lot better action, much better movement. He's got better depth with the breaking ball. The changeup fades, and Gerald Laird led him beautifully as well. We don't give the catchers enough credit sometimes when a pitcher goes out and does the kind of magic that Fister was able to do for 8 innings here today.
Kevin Jepson is the new pitcher now for the Angels. He'll take over for Takahashi, who had a 1-2-3 7th. Don Kelly will start things off. Ball outside, 1-0. This guy will bring it. His first pitch at 99. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In the air, down the left field line, foul. Kelly came on defensively for Bosch. Laird and then Worth to follow here in the bottom of the 8th. 7 runs, 8 hits Detroit. 1 run, 2 hits for the Angels. Here's the 1-1. 98 that time from Jepson, and Kelly a little late. Jepson was born in Anaheim, but he went to high school in Nevada. Breaking ball missed outside. 2-2. Jepson, with his stuff, has closed games in the minor leagues mostly. And Kelly fouls off another. He's battling. Jepson has had 6 career outings against Detroit. He has not allowed a run in 5 2/3 innings total. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball right side. Kendrick ranging left. Kelly is out, 1 gone.
Don't forget, you can join us again tomorrow when the Tigers wrap up their series with the Angels. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
So here is Laird. A couple of ground outs for Laird in this game. He's also walked and scored. And Gerald looks at strike 1. Tigers have not had a hit since the 2-run double by Bosch in the 5th inning.
Nice score in Boston tonight as well. Boston Red Sox are beating the Chicago White Sox 8-1 in the 6th inning.
And if the 2 scores hold up, the Tigers would be 2.5 back again. Chicago coming to town over the weekend. That'll be a fun series. 3.5 back of the Tigers right now. Here's the 0-2. And that's to the first baseman, Pujols, who makes a terrific play. Toss to the pitcher, covering for the out. Albert with those soft hands down at first base made a nice play.
As a first baseman, you also know that really all you have to do is knock it down. Yeah, because the pitcher has a responsibility, and that's to be at the bag so you can get him the ball if you can't get back there.
Here's Danny Worth. He fouls it back. Angels in the 9th inning will have the number 9 hitter due up, Hester, and then Trout and Hunter. Tigers fell behind 1-0, but then tied it up in the bottom of the 1st, scored 4 in the 2nd, and then 2 more in the 5th. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Fisker still hanging around. Benoit warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Fouled away. 1-2 on Danny Worth. It's going to be back-to-back really good outings for Doug Fisker. His last one, of course, coming in Baltimore, and he gave up just 1 run in 7 frames. And he's shooting for his 3rd straight win. Ball high, 2-2. Swing and a miss. He threw it by him in a 1-2-3 inning for Jepson. 8 in the books. Let's go to the 9th. Game summary, you see the Tigers are on top of the Angels 7-1. The Angels 11 home runs in the last 4 games. Major League best 25 in the month of July. Their only run coming out of Pujols' homer tonight. Tigers 3 for 5 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And the numbers on Fisker in his last 2 have been dominant, with 18 strikeouts and 15 innings of work. Last call coming for the Angels now, and the Tigers go to the bullpen. Joaquin Benoit will step in.
Speaking of dominant, Joaquin has been that on occasion this year. 55 strikeouts against 15 walks in just 42 innings.
Myceris Turris will pinch hit for John Hester. And as Turris looks at strike 1, the 9th inning is underway. Tigers 3 outs away from their 48th victory of the season. Swing and a miss, and quickly 0-2 on his Turris.
That's that Vulcan changeup that Benoit features. He doesn't hold it like most guys hold their changeup. Most guys have a circle change. He calls his the Vulcan change.
Fisker goes 8. Benoit comes on here in the 9th to get the final 3 outs. Only 2 hits tonight for the Angels offense. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Meiser Izturis. Lifted in the air. Shallow left field. Rayburn calling for it. 1 out.
I've got a great way for you to keep up with your Tigers. It's with the MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. You can get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826, or you can simply visit Tigers.com for details.
12 Angels in a row have been retired. That'll bring up Mike Trout, the leadoff man, 0 for 3 tonight. Trout has struck out twice in this game. And he looks at ball 1. This coming on the heels of a huge night last night. Trout hit a 2-run homer and finished the game with 4 hits. Here's the 1-0. Lifted toward right center field. Jackson is on the run. Still going. Can't get it. It'll get by him all the way to the wall, and Trout is off to the races. He is on his way to third base, and he is in with a stand-up triple. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting reports on Mike Trout. Fastest to 100 hits, single season Angels history. Erstad did it in 60 games. Trout in 69 games. Rod Carew on that list as well. 4th triple of the year for Mike Trout. And just their 3rd hit of the game. They had retired 12 in a row before that triple. Here's Torrey Hunter. Hunter batting .273 is 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of punch outs and a ground out. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off. 0-2 on Torrey. Same 2 teams to finish out the series tomorrow. Tigers won the opener. Angels won last night. Tigers leading tonight. And then Chicago comes in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Another 3-city tour waiting the Tigers next week.
That's the 4th one of the year already, isn't it?
I think there's 2 more to go, too, in the second half. Here's the 0-2. Hunter hits one on the ground to second base. That'll get the run in. Trout will score. Hunter gets an RBI. It's 7-2, but there are 2 gone. Last chance for the Angels. It's Pujols. Almost 38,000 fans in attendance here tonight, coming to their feet. And a bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta has it, and the Tigers win. 7-2 the final score tonight. Doug Fister was dominant. The Tigers got enough early offense, and they bounced back nicely from last night.
As bad as they played last night, it is nice to see the club come out today and play the kind of baseball that they played. And it all starts with the starting pitcher, and that would be Doug Fister. Brennan Bosch with a couple of doubles also had a real nice night.
So the Tigers come on top tonight with a 7-2 win. Back with more